If you want to live a happy and fulfilling life, you're gonna have to learn how to love yourself. I mean, come on, what has beating ourselves up ever done for us except make things worse? Loving yourself is the way to live, and in this video, we're gonna learn just how to do that. With Valentine's Day right around the corner, I figured I'd make a video on something I think we should always prioritize, but especially around Valentine's Day, and that is loving ourselves. It may sound ridiculous and weird to nurture the relationship you have with yourself. I completely get it and felt that way for most of my life. I mean, I never learned how to love myself or even knew that that was a thing people did. Honestly, why would we love ourselves, and what does it even mean to love yourself? To answer that question, I began asking myself why I love other people and how I show love to them. I show love to other people because I want them to know I appreciate them. I show them love by doing nice things for them, buying them gifts on holidays, Valentine's Day, or Christmas, or their birthday, or just randomly. I tell them how much I love them. I hug them, and I spend intentional quality time with them. So once I answered why and how I love others, I realized I could do that for myself. I could make my own self feel appreciated, loved, and adored. I mean, isn't that the most important relationship you should nurture? With the person who has been there since you were born and will be there until the day you're no longer here? If I'm the person I will forever spend the absolute most time with, shouldn't I show that person the most love? Shouldn't I try to make that person my absolute best friend, the person that's always in my corner, always has my back? Why not work to love her unconditionally, no matter what? And that, my loves, is why I decided to learn how to love myself. If you're new here, my name is MacKenzie Mae, and I create videos sharing my wellness journey to inspire yours. So if you're on your own wellness journey or you're starting one, please subscribe so you can join this beautiful growing community so we can all learn and grow and heal together. In this video, I'm going to describe why loving ourselves is important, my journey going from my own worst enemy to loving myself, and some practical tips on self-love that you can do today. So why don't we get right into it? Why is loving yourself so important? First, I want to describe what it actually means to love yourself. To truly love yourself means you think positively towards yourself. You know your worth, you respect yourself, and you're confident in the person that you are. You don't need external validation to feel appreciated, cared for, and worthy. You just know internally that you are enough. The reason it's important to love ourselves and have a sense of self-worth and self-respect and self-confidence is that positive feelings towards ourselves translates into a happier, healthier life. It's absolutely vital for your overall well-being. When someone has negative feelings towards themselves, they're typically insecure, unhappy, stressed, lonely, even shameful. It affects their ability to have a fulfilling life, reach their goals, and have healthy relationships. I have firsthand felt the difference between self-hatred and self-love. And the journey to going from hating myself to loving myself is a journey that has taken years and I'm still working on. I spent all of my teenage years and into my early 20s being my own biggest bully. I still struggle with not feeling good enough, not feeling qualified, not feeling worthy. But in the last year, I have made strides on loving myself and believing in myself. And I'm so excited to share in this video how I've done that because it has made the world of a difference. It has changed my mindset and therefore my life. For many years, my coping mechanism to be liked, to be successful, to never fail or make a mistake was to beat myself up. It was almost comforting if I was meanest to myself, then if other people criticized me, they couldn't criticize me worse than I already did myself. I know, sad and counterproductive, but I know I am not the only one with this thought pattern. It was genuinely miserable to be inside my own mind, to the point where I didn't want to spend a second alone with myself because my thoughts would completely consume me. Once I learned that beating myself up was only making matters worse, I decided I needed to learn how to love myself, or at least be nicer to myself so I can stop getting in my own way. The tips I'm going to share in this video have helped me crave alone time with my thoughts, believe in myself, feel worthy and confident in who I am. They've made me a much happier person, living a more fulfilling life than I ever had been being my own worst enemy. Let me tell you though, the journey to loving yourself will not happen overnight. Like any friendship or relationship, it takes consistent, intentional effort to nurture the relationship with yourself. Without further ado though, let's learn some practical tips to starting your self-love journey. The first step that I took in my journey to love myself was to find the courage to ask for help. I've experienced trauma and have PTSD and an anxiety disorder. Battling with those things sometimes makes it seemingly impossible to love myself. So if you resonate with that, then I suggest your first step to loving yourself is to get professional help. Treating my anxiety disorder and PTSD with medication and therapy helped jumpstart my journey to loving myself. Because asking for help is an act of self-love. Even if you haven't endured a life-altering trauma or any mental illnesses, I still 100% wholeheartedly recommend going to therapy because it can help anyone and everyone, and it is a great first step to starting the journey to love yourself. Since you clicked on this video and you're wanting to learn how to love yourself, it's probable that you have negative self-talk. So my second tip to learning how to love yourself is to reframe negative self-talk. Now, first off, what is negative self-talk? Basically, negative self-talk is any negative feeling toward yourself that you tell yourself. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. I'm not qualified. I suck. If any of that stuff, any of those type of thoughts go through your mind, that is negative self-talk and you are not alone. I would assume that almost everyone at least goes through that, but there is power in learning how to reframe them and it's super exciting. It's actually scientific. In cognitive behavioral therapy, which many therapists use, they use this concept called the cognitive triangle. And that is the concept that your thoughts drive your feelings, which drive your behavior, which drives your thoughts, which drive your feelings, which drive your behavior. And this cycle goes on and on and on and on, and it's a feedback loop. In my pursuit to love myself better, I've been using this concept a lot in therapy lately. Like I've mentioned before, I often think that I'm not good enough, which makes me feel not good enough, which makes me behave in a way that proves to myself that I'm not good enough. So then I think that again, and then I feel it, and the cycle continues, like I said, with this triangle. Recently, I was searching for a job, and I got into this mindset that I wasn't good enough, I wasn't qualified, blah, 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 blah. And it caused me to not apply to a lot of jobs because I didn't think that I was qualified. So I thought I wasn't good enough, so I felt I wasn't good enough, and my behavior showed that by not applying to jobs because I thought I wasn't good enough. So when a thought like, I'm not qualified for this job came up, I would stop it right there. I'd say, is that true though? Is it actually true that I'm not capable of doing this job? Or am I just telling myself this? So then I found the evidence to why that's wrong. I've done many jobs in the past. I've never known every single responsibility that's on the job description. And have I still succeeded? Yes. Can I succeed again? Yes. So my thoughts went from I'm not good enough to I can do this because I've done it before. And by thinking that, then I felt like I was capable. And then it made me actually apply to jobs. My behavior changed. When we look at the cognitive triangle and the three components of that, with feelings, we can't really do much to change those, unfortunately. But we can change our behavior and we can change our thoughts. Reframing our negative thoughts is us changing those thoughts, which is inevitably going to have an impact on your feelings and then behaviors and so on. Let's practice now. I want you to get out a piece of paper, your notes app, your journal, whatever, and I want you to write out 3 negative thoughts about yourself that you tell yourself often. Now ask yourself, is that true? Where's the evidence that supports it? And where's the evidence that proves it false? Once you've done that, I want you to reframe the negative thought to a more productive, positive, loving thought. Reframing negative thoughts is literally rewiring your brain. It's creating new neural pathways, so in the future, you have more loving thoughts for yourself. But keep in mind that if you've been telling yourself these things like you're not good enough, you suck, whatever, for years and years and years, those thought patterns are in the trenches. Like those have been gone over so many times. So to rewire that, to create positive thought patterns, you're going to have to repeat it over and over and over. So the trick with reframing negative thoughts is every single time a negative thought comes up, you have to flag it. You have to realize, oh, this is a dirty thought, let's clean it up. By cleaning it up, you're reframing it to something more loving, and over time, it'll get easier and easier and easier, and that thought pattern will get more ingrained than a negative thought pattern. If you have no idea what I'm talking about with dirty thoughts and cleaning them up, watch my video on things my therapists have told me that have changed my life, because I go into it in depth there. I'll link it right up here. Basically, what you're going to do is recreate the story you tell yourself so it serves you instead of holding you back. The third tip I have on how to love yourself is to get to know yourself. What do you like? What do you dislike? What are your values? What makes you, you? When getting to know yourself, you have the opportunity to discover how dope you are as a person. Up until less than 2 years ago, I've been living my life in the way I perceived I should be living it because of what I was told to value, the path I was told to take to be successful, the way I was supposed to be to please others. Getting to know myself gave me the opportunity to discover who I really am, what I want to do with my life, what makes me happy and feel fulfilled. Once I discovered that, I realized how cool I am as a person. It made me feel so much more confident in myself and believe in myself because I knew I was finally living in alignment with who I truly am inside. To love yourself, you gotta get to know yourself. So how are we going to do this? I'm gonna give you a few journal prompts that you can do right now to start getting to know yourself. So again, get out your journal, a piece of paper, the notes app on your phone. I want you to write out 3 things you used to do as a child that you enjoyed. I want you to write about what you don't know about yourself and how you can go about discovering that about yourself. And next, I want you to write about what you want to be remembered for. There are so many other journal prompts that can help you discover who you are and get to know yourself. These are just a few that I really like. The 4th tip on how to love yourself is one that you've probably heard of. It's pretty self-explanatory. Engage in consistent daily self-love practices. To nurture the relationship with yourself, you need to spend quality, intentional time with yourself. And there are so many ways to do this, so I'm gonna share some of my favorites, but just know this is not an exhaustive list. First, we gotta take care of ourselves. When we love ourselves, we take care of ourselves. We can show that we love ourselves by having good hygiene, brushing our teeth every morning and night, taking a shower, doing our laundry, staying on top of our skincare routine. We can make ourselves food. Spend time learning how to cook for yourself. Foods that make you feel good and energized. Schedule time in your day to cook because you love yourself. Another great self-care practice is to take yourself on dates. I know that might sound weird, but it's really fun, okay? Some of my favorites are going to the park, bringing a book or a picnic or my journal. You could also go thrift shopping, put some music in, get in a groove and find some fun clothes. Or do your favorite activity, whether it's knitting, roller skating, or going to the movies. And another self-care practice that is so beneficial is spending time in nature. When you're in nature, you're most likely moving around, getting those endorphins pumping, which are the happy chemicals in your brain. It's going to make you happier. According to science, being in nature lowers your blood pressure, your heart rate, your stress. It improves your mood, your immune function, and your sleep. And it increases your creativity. It's an amazing thing to get outside in the fresh air around nature. These are only a few self-love practices that I like, but there are so many others, so please comment down below what your favorite self-love practices are so I can learn, and then others who stumble upon your comment can learn as well. I could definitely make a part 2 to loving yourself because there are so many ways to nurture the relationship with yourself. So definitely let me know if that's something you'd be interested in. I hope this video helped you internalize the importance of loving yourself and gave you some practical tips you can use today to embark on that journey. Know that the journey to loving yourself is going to take time, but it's 100% worth the investment in yourself because it genuinely will change your life. Do the work now so your future self can reap the benefits. If you liked this video, you'll probably like the video I made on how to be more positive, so definitely check that out. And it would mean so much if you hit the like button on your way out. It really does help push my videos out to more people so we can keep growing this community and can spread more love. I hope you have a lovely, lovely day, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Bye!